Hi everyone, my name is Julie Coombs. I am the nutrition coach here at Mind and Body Solutions, and today we are going to be talking about why movement matters. So, we all know that exercise is important, but a lot of times we don't necessarily hear the why. So, the benefits extend far beyond just physical appearance, weight management, that sort of thing. So, I'm going to go through some of the top benefits of just why we should get some daily movement. So you have lowered risk of chronic diseases, so heart disease, stuff like that. Supports healthy cognitive function. You have improved energy levels. I know a lot of times, especially when we're starting out, if we don't have energy to begin with, it's hard to believe that exerting energy would help us increase energy. But I promise, it is a process, and sometimes you are at a place where you have to heal first before you can start incorporating. But once you get to that part, you will be more energized, I promise. Improved sleep, reduced feelings of anxiety, depression, or stress. Exercise is a great way to help de-stress, especially something like just going on a relaxing walk, listening to your favorite music is an amazing de-stressor. Exercise and just movement in general helps with improved insulin sensitivity of your muscles. So, if you struggle with insulin resistance or you struggle with prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, incorporating movement can help start to reverse those insulin-related problems in addition to changing up your diet. Next, we have a pretty obvious one, building and maintaining strength. So not necessarily talking about, becoming a bodybuilder or a professional weightlifter, but just maintaining your muscle mass, especially as people start to age. It's really important to work to just maintain the muscle you have, maintain the flexibility that you have, to help you stay independent, whether that's getting groceries from the car, walking up the stairs, tying your shoes, having to lift stuff over your head or bend down to pick up stuff without injuring your back, that sort of thing. Then, of course, there's weight management. Regular activity and exercise can help manage weight, help change physical appearance, whether that's gaining muscle, losing weight, maintaining weight, whatever it may be. And then lastly, and one of my favorites, is exercise can help with the release of feel-good hormones that can help improve your mood. So stuff like serotonin and dopamine. I know it doesn't feel like it because a lot of times we view exercise as a punishment, but I hope after we talk today, you will see that it's not a punishment and it's not something that you should have to force yourself, trick yourself, feel like, you have to do, but someone's pulling your teeth to do it. So now that you know why it's great to exercise, you might still be overwhelmed and intimidated. It's really easy to believe that there's a huge barrier to entry, like you have to have a really expensive gym membership, or you need to know exactly what to do, what's the best workout plan, or starting tomorrow, you have to be able to run a mile in 6 minutes, or just all of that stuff that you have to spend hours working out. None of that is true. You can start anywhere, absolutely anywhere, no matter your time allowance, budget, comfortability, anything. So exercise is something you can tailor to fit your needs. So I'm going to go over a couple tips on, how to get started, how to start incorporating this into your life. So tip number one, probably most important of all, is find what exercise you enjoy. If you like it, you are more likely to stick to it. So this does not need to be a traditional exercise of running or lifting weights or, being in the gym or whatever. It could be jogging, it could be weight training or cycling, but it could also be hiking, walking, playing with your kids, playing with your dog, dancing, yoga, Pilates, swimming, playing sports, just about anything where you are getting your body moving, that is going to be a great option for you. Sometimes even yard work, like if you're doing gardening and you're lifting those soil bags and stuff like that, that's exercise. You're exerting energy, there's weighted stuff, everything. So it doesn't have to be, oh, I have to stand on the treadmill and run. No, if you hate that, don't do it. Find what you enjoy. It could be dancing, it could be anything. And don't be afraid if you're bad at it. Like if you would like to dance, but you're like, I don't know how to dance, do it in the comfort of your home. There's so many YouTube videos of just little like dances and they'll show you what to do. And if you feel embarrassed and you want everyone to do that in public, you don't have to. You can do it from your home and then no one can see you and you get to do what you enjoy, but you don't feel embarrassed and it just works out. So tip number 2 is going to be realistic. So don't tell yourself that you're going to start exercising 5 days a week for an hour each day if you've previously been pretty much entirely sedentary. You're going to set yourself up for failure and disappointment. So the key is to start small. Pick what your starting exercise is going to be. Whether that's, if you're a complete beginner, could be walking. That could just be stretching. It could be yoga. Any of those are perfectly fine. And then try to incorporate that exercise for 15 minutes, starting just once or twice per week. So just 15, let's say 15 minutes on Monday, and then whenever your schedule allows, let's say 15 more minutes on Thursday. And just try to keep doing that for a couple weeks. And then as you get more comfortable, as you feel like you're, building up your stamina, just kind of settling into your routine, try increasing it to 3 times a week. Now, don't change the time. Keep it at those 15 minutes unless you're just doing really great and you want to do longer. But to be on the safe side, just start small. And so maybe we go to Monday for 15 minutes and then Wednesday for 15 minutes and then Friday for 15 minutes, 15 minutes walking, 15 minutes of yoga, anything like that. And then once you become more comfortable with that, then you want to try to increase the duration of your exercise, at least 1 day per week. So maybe Mondays we go for 30 minutes. Wednesdays and Fridays we're still doing 15. That's completely fine. You just want to slowly build up rather than, try to hit the ground running and you either injure yourself or you feel exhausted or you just feel disappointed or anything like that. Also, you can start incorporating movement in other ways that you might not think of. So a great one is even just think about how many times you get up to go to the bathroom during the day. Okay, you got up, you went to use the restroom, do 5 arm circles or 5 body weight squats or, jog in place for, 10 seconds, anything like that. Just pick something to do every time you're going to the bathroom to get you some extra movement because that's going to compound over the course of the day if you go to the bathroom, 5 to 6 times. Some people go more. So it might feel like you're not doing anything, but if you truly, you're truly telling yourself, I don't have time to do exercise, I don't have time. Well, you have time to go to the bathroom. So just, add these, 5 little stretches, 5 little exercises, 5 little squats, whichever one you want when you're using the bathroom, like after you wash your hands or right before you go. And that's going to incorporate movement without you feeling like, oh my gosh, I have to set aside time to get dressed and go and do whatever, So that's another great tip that I recommend. My third tip is going to be modify your exercise wherever you're needed. The internet is a great resource for modified workouts. If you're struggling with knee pain, back pain, limited flexibility or mobility, just search online for exercise plans that are modified to fit those needs. So literally if you work out or if you research, home workout, no jumping, home workout, knee friendly, home workout for people who aren't flexible, like stuff is going to come up. There are going to be countless videos that are beginner friendly. YouTube is a great resource for home workouts that are no equipment required. There's ones that are There's seated workouts. There's workouts where you can just lay on the floor the whole time. There's workouts where you can do walking, but you're walking in place. So if it is too hot outside, if it's too humid, if there's too many mosquitoes, especially as it starts to warm up, but you want to exercise, but you don't necessarily want to be outside and covered in bug spray and drenched in, Texas heat, sweat, you can do that from the comfort of your home. You can get the effects of walking without, moving too much. You might be moving a couple steps forward, a couple steps back, but it's not like you're going, around the block. You're standing in place, you're marching in place. So I highly, highly recommend the channel Grow with Jo, and Jo is just J-O. She offers free at-home workouts that are fun and great for beginners. Some of them she'll incorporate strength training. Some of them she incorporates, Pilates moves, but they are just fun videos. She has videos, they're dancing to all different kinds of music. And they're easy, they're beginner friendly. And she also has so many of the walking workouts. And so you are marching in place, you are following along with her. She has different durations, all kinds of beginner friendly, and then more advanced ones as well. She is such a great resource, and I highly recommend her channel. My last tip is going to be that it's very beneficial to find a friend to exercise with. It just helps to establish, accountability, provide mutual motivation, and just overall make the experience more enjoyable. And this might be your spouse, it could be one of your closest friends. Your friend could be that it's your dog and you're taking them with you on your walk. It could be your kids, and if you're doing a little dance video, you're dancing together, or you are taking them to the park and y'all are playing and running around together. Any of that sort of thing. Just doing it with someone else can be great. Or if someone isn't physically with you, a great thing to do, like I love to do, is go on a long walk and I'll call a friend. And when we're on the phone, I'm walking and we're talking, oh my gosh, 2 hours could pass and I'm like, oh, I've been walking for 2 hours, and I didn't even, you don't even think about it because you're invested in the conversation you're having and you're having a good time. So it doesn't feel like you're exercising, you're just going on about your daily life. So I highly recommend, maybe you schedule a time with a friend or a family member to catch up every week. And that's when you are outside getting your exercise, something like that. The last thing I want you to remember is that when it comes to exercise, you do not have to give your all every single time. Sometimes you might want to go on a walk and maybe you normally walk at a pretty brisk pace. Sometimes you might just not have the energy for that, and that's fine. Walk at a slower pace. Do what feels comfortable. You will still get the benefits of exercise even if you're only feel like you're giving 50% effort, even if you feel like you're only giving 25% effort. Anything more than, just being seated is going to provide some benefit. Now, I do say that to say, make sure you take time to rest. Don't push yourself. Rest is so incredibly important. But this is just to say, if you're in a rough patch where you're really not feeling it, or you want to do something, but you just don't have it in you to give 100%, then don't give 100%. Give however much percentage of effort and energy you have, and let that be okay. So I hope these were helpful. I hope you maybe have a new perspective on movement and more optimistic on how it can be fun and enjoyable. And I'll see you next time. Bye.